Okay. Cool. So now I want you guys to go to this URL. It's going to be a workshop anyway, so we're going to go through this together. Anyway, there will not be any PowerPoint presentation. So the list of HTTP codes is what you have there. There are different levels. So when you have those ones with 100, 100 and something, 1XX, so they are basically for information. So 2XX, that means 200 series, that are for successful messages. Then 300 series, that are for redirections. Then if you have the 400 series, they are for client errors. Then 500 series, they are for server error. So how is this one used? Basically, if you want to kind of send any information to your clients, right, you will actually send it with a 100 series, actually, to say, oh, this information is received, and you want to update some information to say, oh, I'm continuing processing this particular request. So just information based, actually, you will send 100 series. But let's say you finish a transaction or you finish an event, you want to kind of update the client, or you want to tell on that particular request, the what's it called? Yeah, where the request actually came from, right? Okay, this is successful, or you've received it, is you understood. So you will send 200 series actually. So if there's error from the client side, right, you will say, okay, yeah, maybe that like a bad request or syntax, you will send a 400 request. But if like the server is not responding, or you got some of the issues from the server end, you will get 500 series anyway. So this is kind of a detail. You can look at it. So it's just information about continuous switching code. So these are the code 100. So more often people use 200 code, yeah, which means it's okay, right? So 201 means, yeah, that particular resource is created. So, and you've got 202 means accepted. You can on and on like that, actually, until you get to the 300 series. 300 series, yeah, you have the multiple choices, 300, and you on and on like that, yeah. So then you have the 400 series, actually. So bad request, 400, 401, unauthorized, 402, payment required, 403 is forbidden, 404 is not found, on and on like that. So, and then you have the 500 series now. 500 series is basically server error. 500, internal server error. 501, that means that resource is not implemented. 502, bad gateway. 503, service unavailable, on and on like that. So, and yeah, unfortunately, yeah, there's even 419 as well. So, but yeah, so these are all the resources. Now, going back now, I will, based on my experience, this, yeah, I'll tell you the one that are more popular, actually widely used. To be honest, 100 is not that widely used. 200, yes. In 200 series, is you people will see 201, no, 200 actually. In all the uh status code, I think 200 is the mostly used one, actually, to be honest. This is based on my experience. Yeah, in some cases 201 actually. So I think the rest you will just kind of not use frequently. So 300 are also not used frequently, right? Unless in some special cases, right? So you would use maybe 301 if that particular resource has been moved, 302 if it's found. So, and the rest, I think, yeah, is not. Then in 400 series, right, 400 bad requests. Yes, that is also widely used. 401 also when you are looking for a resource and you don't have authorization to see it, then that is one. Then the next one is forbidden when you want to get access to a request, but you are forbidden from actually seeing it, or the server refused to give that to you. 404 is also widely used as well when that particular resource is not found where you are looking at it. So, and I think that should be that in terms of 400 series, to be honest. So then 500, yeah, internal server error, yeah, and sometimes 501 not implemented, and 502, yeah, bad gateway, 503 server not available, 504, that's another thing. Yeah, I think the rest is not anyway. So if you go for interview, so I think they might ask you, what is this particular request for? And yeah, sometimes it's, to be honest, difficult to know everything actually, but they might want you to know all the regular ones, right? Like 200 series, let's say 200 and 201 or 202 and maybe 204. Those ones that said are kind of important. Or of course, they may also expect you to know the series as well, that what is 100 for 100 series, 200 series, 300 series. Then maybe they talk about 400, 401, yeah, and 402, 403, 404. And they may also ask you what is 500 for, 501, what's it for, 502, 503, and maybe some instance 504. So if you know all those, maybe the one I mentioned now, maybe 10 or 15, I think they should be fine. It should be fine. So if you have any question, please put it in the chat. I'll be looking at it anyway. So that is that in terms of the status code. So you can look at this one and get familiarize yourself with that. So, and that is that. So, and now let's go through how to do the manual testing. So let me quickly bring out Postman. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So this is Postman. I'm going to assume everyone has got that. Okay. I would be going a bit slow so that you can get this together, if that's okay. Let me see if I can even close all the tabs. Okay, cool. So yeah. So this one, let's start with this particular website, which I think there are two that I've got open. They are quite good for trying your endpoints actually. Yeah. And this one, which I'm going to send as well. Okay, so we will try one of these and see, and so they're quite a bit similar. So let's even use this particular one because this got information actually. So this particular site, right? It's just a dummy JSON information anyway. So let me just a dummy JSON information. So let's say you are building a particular website and developer will tell you if you want to look for the product, they will give you an endpoint, right? They will say, okay, this is the endpoint for the product. So for instance, if I go into this one now, and you will see it will only give me a JSON, like that. So this is only showing the JSON. So for instance, if I want to list the endpoint, so of all the products, so this is how to do that, actually. So a good example, someone will ask that, how is this used actually? So let's say, okay, let's say you go to Amazon. Amazon will list all the products for you, right? But what you see, it will be based on a request that has been sent to their server. Start. Yeah. So all these products that you see are basically requests. Let's even try whether we can actually get those one in there on their server, and hopefully. So let's go to the network and see what they've got. Let's check that. Let's just reload it again. Suggestions. And response. Okay, that hasn't got anything. Render. Okay, so this has got something, as you can see. So yeah, there are different things that is coming back from our feedback. So these are the information that, yeah, it will just combine all of them and use them to render the page. So hopefully, let me see which one it might actually use more. No, that one, that one's not got anything. Yeah, so this is another feedback one with the HTML content as well. So yeah, that's another one. So that one has the payload. Yeah. No, actually. Okay, so this is not there yet, but I think this one is returning HTML code, which is not what I'm looking for, to be honest, but this is returning HTML code. But let's go to BBC and try. For instance, now, if I go into bbc.com and we check the content user info, yeah, this is, I think, yeah. So this is my user info. As you can see, it is bringing those information in where it is. Another thing, you can see this is very, very important to them actually, because this is what BBC will use to be able to get your, what's it called, your location. And if you are not in the UK, I think you will see adverts actually. But if you're in the UK, you will not see adverts because BBC, you pay TV license to be able to see BBC. So, but if you're not in the UK, you would be seeing adverts on their site. So that's one thing they use as well. So, and another thing you can see, this is saying, yeah, the production environment is the environment is production. They put all these details in, right? You can see the ID, the variables, blah, blah. And yeah, so this is very, very important. So you can see those information in there so that they use to display their content on there. So content banner, that is this one as well. So you can see, so that is the content banner and those information in there. Yeah. And the config as well, that's another thing, the token that you use to be able to display your login details and blah, blah, and that one anyway. So yeah, so those are the information that you have that the API supplies to you. So for instance, now, let's say we go to this particular one, we want to see the user information, right? I think everyone can try that and say, okay, let me see the, maybe because I've actually logged in, if I logged out, maybe it's going to show a different thing. We can check as well. So let everyone go, if you go to BBC and let's see. So let's see the information they're going to give to us. So I'm going to bring Postman now. So we can see that, okay, this is our URL, right? Which is what they call endpoints, right? This is our endpoint. Endpoint is that HTTP, blah, blah, like that. So that you put in there. So, and so please, if you have any question, do ask, okay? So let me bring the Postman out, right? So we create a new request. We create a new request, add request. And that will be our endpoint, BBC info. And now it's a get, right? So we quickly, maybe I should spare. I think I went through this as well, last 2 weeks ago when we talk about the get. Get is to actually get some resources or information. Post is for adding. So you can see when we're going to see that today, the difference between this get now and when I enter information here and I press enter, that will be a post actually. So the put and the patch are for delete, which you may not be able to see unless you have access to be able to update that information on the server. So, okay, let's go back to Postman. Okay, so yeah, so now that is the only thing I need right now. But if there were reason for me to do authorization, so like if the device is got like password or thereabout that you have to authorize before you use this particular endpoint, you have to decide which authorization that you need to use. But this one doesn't need any authorization. I can put that because it's public endpoints actually. But if sometimes you might need to use an API key, developers will give to you, or bearer tokens, they can give to you, or you can also check it in there. So for instance, now if I go to here, if there's any, you can look at this. If there's bearer token, you look into here, you will see a bearer token, right? So let's say if there's anyone that is using a bearer token, maybe we'll check later. Yeah, you will see in this site anyway as well. But more often, yeah, developers can also help you out as well to say, okay, you need to use a bearer token, where to get it, because some of them, they might hide it in one of those, yeah. So they might also let you know this, okay, this is where the bearer token is stored and get it from here. So, but this has not got anything like me. Of course, it's a public site. So, okay. And let's go. So once you have your endpoints, you can click on send. So you can see it brought this particular information for me, which is what I'm expecting because it's got my country, it's got UK's combined, yes, blah, blah, blah. So you can use it to say, is this person logging from the UK? That will be your test based on this endpoint, because this is a functionality for BBC to ensure that this person that is logging in, or I'm logging in, I'm from UK. For those guys that you are not in the UK, let's see what you got actually, if you can put in the chat. Yeah, so if that makes sense, if you're not in the UK, let's see what you get, you can share with everyone. Okay. Can we have a show of hands if you're not in the UK, please? So that if you're not waiting for anyone, so that's fine. Is anyone doing this? Not in the UK? Should we assume there's none? Okay, so that means there's none of us here anyway. So okay, but that's fine. So we can actually verify this. So now the next thing is, like 2 weeks ago, we also kind of look into how to now run our test from here, right? So you can actually go to the test, and I said that you can get the response for here. So if you look at the status code, so you want to confirm your status code is 200, which is this one, right? If you run it and if it's 200, you will give you a pass, right? So, and you got another, you got the result here. Actually, as you can see, it's showing status code is 200, right? So if you want it to fail, just change it to 201 and see that, yeah, it's going to fail because it returns 200 status code to you. So now another thing is the body, response body, which is one. You can confirm that as well. So let's do our response body contains. So you can say, oh, the response body contains what do you think? It should have this country is equal to GB, right? We want to validate that one. Okay. That's two. Okay. So we can run that and say, so that actually failed. And let's see why it failed. Said, yeah, there's error. Okay. Think this might be because of, oh, okay. I think everything has to be in a port, unfortunately. I think that's the reason. Okay. Syntax error again. Okay. Let me delete it and put it again because I think I kind of make that mistake before. So what is the error? Okay. Okay. It's still saying there's error. Okay. Let's try to divide them into two anyway. So maybe that might. Okay. So that is one. And I think you can actually put like plus or something like that into it. Like yeah. Let's try that. Okay, that makes sense anyway. Yeah. So with that now, I just kind of did a quick concatenation of those string anyway. So but it's saying it's not. So as you can see, that has got that plus, I think that should be colon in between. Colon plus space and GB. So that's saying this is the error, expecting country dash plus that plus GB to include. Okay, so this one has got space. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think I'm going to assume that because it's got that slash, I'm going to assume you need that slash as well. So hold on, let's do this. Okay, so but what I can do is for now, to be honest, so for now, let's just confirm that it contains the GB anyway. So just to make it simple, disregard everything that I've done. So okay, so that we just verify that it contains the GB anyway. So which is basically showing us that, yeah, this has got GB inside as well. So, yeah. So this is one way of doing your test, but some people will do it manually. Actually, just write your test and then use your eyes to verify the body. Once the body is what you're expecting, you pass it. Or you can as well write your test as well, like this, and use some of these widgets here to get what you're looking for and then verify it as well. Yeah. So that is one thing that you can do anyway. Yeah. Okoyemi, please.
Okay, thank you. What I want to ask is that on the I'm trying to put the BBC. I don't know, I didn't get what you got here. I don't know, maybe because you log in, as you said earlier, and I got different things. So that's why
Okay. What did you get?
you have on the BNB moment. So I couldn't get, I think there's like consent or something like that on your own, but I couldn't get. I guess check URL results.json. Another one's a page rating.json. The third one, welcome.json. Check your URLs result.json. The setting.json, iOS setting.json, dog icon.json, and page rating.json. That's what I got on that name.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Even after I've logged out, oh, it's kind of logged in again. 4 minutes. Okay, so now if you look at here, it's still showing me the same thing anyway. Is that what you're saying? Is that
Yeah,
what you...
I didn't see that. Under that, the name. So those are the items I could see on them. Yeah, the one I named earlier. Under the name, I couldn't say all the things you saw here.
Yeah,
It's
for
quite
instance,
somehow different. Yeah.
I send it now. Let's see. I still see the same thing, to be honest. I can still see the same thing.
It's not bringing the country or any of those things.
Yeah. And you're in the UK?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think for me, okay, let me go to BBC now anyway. Yeah. I don't want to believe that it's already cached anyway, on which is possible. And yeah, it's still bringing, yeah, you already know.
I don't know if it's the same thing for everyone, but to me, it's not. It's just that's just what I could say here.
Can we check if it's, yeah, if everyone can see that? Yeah, if you go to BBC, you can see that. Okay. All right. I think we'll just leave it for now anyway. So okay. All right. So now let's go to login. No, I won't do that for security's sake anyway. So let's go to search, right, and see how they do their search, right? So we click on that, and you can see that this side is bringing different events. You can see there's a post here, 200, no content, 204, rather, no content. You can see this is not 200 now, 204, no content is displayed, right? So when you go to this one, oh, sorry. When you go to the one at the top, right, what you get is only a get and 200, which, yeah. And the config is the same thing that we saw before, and the content as well, right? So, yeah. So now let's just type something, right? Let's say, I think I typed sports before. Okay, let's say, what is the, okay. Can someone borrow me something to search on LinkedIn, on, sorry, BBC? So any of the news that's making the waves now or trending? Sorry?
Boris Johnson.
Yeah, is always on the news. Okay, let's try Boris. Okay, as you can see now, this is now kind of changed, right? You got that event, you got that, you got that, you got that. Well, let's see all, to be honest. So I'm going to try that again because that is just the searches. So let's clean up this. Okay, as you can see, that is the search actually. So that is the search that we use, is a get, so that they use. And if you go to the payload, this is what we put in there, Boris Johnson, right? And it's putting that. So if you go to the preview, this is what it brings out for response, right? So it doesn't even bring anything on the response, unfortunately. So I don't know why. So that's how they decide to do this. So, but let's put this now on our on Postman and see what we get on Postman. Let me add another one. Okay. Okay. So it's actually brought the HTML code actually, right? Not even a JSON actually, because yeah. So that is what it actually brought for us. It's yeah, can you see? So, and if you change that, let's say we change our that queue to education. So as you can see, that's what it's bringing. So you can actually do that, but the only issue with this one is like this one is bringing the HTML code. Normally, most of the responses that you would want to check, right, should bring JSON for you, right? So, and that's one. So let's quickly do the one that I want you to look into. So if you go into this particular site, the one that we opened before now, yeah, the product, right? So, and you go into your Postman and you said, okay, I want to get this product using this endpoint, and you send it. It will list all the JSON for you, as you can see with the products, right? And you can get all the JSON. As you can see, this is product 1, this is product 2, and this is product 3. This is, if you look at this as Amazon products, right? So this is saying, give me all the products in Amazon, right? I think there's another endpoint here that allows you to filter based on products, right? If you go back to that request, yeah. So, and this is catalog, this is users, this is, yeah. So I think there's another one, yeah. So this particular now, this one gets all the products, this one gets a single product. You can do that as well. So for instance, now when I go here and I say /1, that will give me items in product ID 1, right? Which is iPhone, right? So, oh, is that what happened? It said could not find that. Is that true? So let me check that again.
Rumile, your leg.
Anna, do you want to mute yourself, please? Thank you. Let's wait. Okay, all right. So that is the endpoint. That's what I'm expecting. So we check that on here. I don't know what's the difference between
Please,
what
is
I
it the
type.
URL? Sorry, is it the URL when we need to copy?
Yeah, it's the URL. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what is the difference actually. I thought it was the same thing. Let's check. I thought it was the same thing, right? Yeah, and I just put one at the end. Yeah, I don't know what happened. You can see this only brings ID 1. So if you want to select, okay, what is ID 7? What type of product is that? That brings only the 7 for you. Then you can verify, right? Yeah, and you can say, oh, this particular product is a Samsung. Yeah, that's. So what we're going to do next week now, we'll validate this using our code, right? So what I'm expecting you, we'll use one of your automation code that you've designed using BDD format. So what we need to do now, you can copy your code, right? If you go to code, yeah, this is the C# code that you need for rest assured, actually. So we just need to kind of put this in the code. How do you put this? We're going to look at this next week, actually. As you can see, it does that. So yeah, so that is one way. So we only done get. Let's see if we can get a post one, actually. I think there is one. The post is used for filling a form. When you are filling the form, you can, yeah, what you used to send is a post, actually. So when you're updating a particular form is, yeah, okay, this is a post. That's good. So let's say, yeah, I think good thing is you need to look at the example to see what elements or field that you need to enter for that. Yeah, so let's go to the document anyway. I've got 5 more minutes. Yeah. So adding a product. Okay. So when you're adding a product, okay, no, that's not it. Okay. So when you're adding a product, this is what you need to do. And then what is show output? So yeah, so you need to add the ID, the title of that product. That's what you need to add. So I'm going to copy that endpoint and I'll paste it in my Postman endpoint. Then after that, it says that I need some fields to add ID and this. So I'm going to copy this one, right? Copy that and I'll put it in my field that I want to post. So to post your field, right, you need to go to the body because that is the body that you want to send across. So you can decide to use the form like that, one after the other, or to be honest, I normally use the raw because for the raw one, you just paste what you have like that. So as you can see, but you can go to the form and put ID, then put 100 or put title in the form. So here it will be ID and you put value 101, right? And you do the same thing for the second one, or let me with that, or you just use the raw like that without having to go through, because for the raw it's a bit faster. So if you have more than one field, or maybe you might have 20 or 30, you don't want to be filling everything like that. So let's send that request and see what happens. Say product ID not found. So that is the message. Yeah, product ID add not found.
Should we use get here?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, shows that someone is following me. So it's gonna be a post. Thank you. Yeah. So that's, yeah, it's saying you couldn't find the ad because I was using the post. I was using the get. It should be a post because I want to send this particular. I want to create this ID. All right. So okay, let's try. So yeah, as you can see, it got 200, and it says, okay, this is the ID. Right. So what you now need to do, let's check if it's already working. 101, what's that? So I cannot find product 101. So basically, I don't think it's actually added anything anyway. So yeah. So because if you go to the one, it's adding something. Okay, maybe. Oh, sorry. I think I need to. Yeah, I just forgot. I need to send that one. Yeah, that is one. Let's check that 101 and see if it's actually did something. Okay, yeah, still saying product not found. But that's how to check anyway. So if that particular endpoint works, it will add it to the database, right? You do a post for that. When you do a post for that and you send it, and it give you a success message. Now it's saying, oh no, add, sorry. Add, yeah, so then you would put the raw in there and you send. So once it gives you this and the success messages is, yeah, it's not like it's giving you error, right? And also status is 200. The next thing is for you to validate if it's added, if it's really, really added. So you change this one to a get and you confirm that. But apparently this website, I think, of course, for obvious reason, they will not allow you to add anything anyway, because if they have allowed everybody to be adding things to their server, I think it will be jam-packed even right now anyway. So that's what you would do. And yeah. So let's see even the update as well. But okay, I think I was there. I just even walked away. So for the update, it's also the same thing, but what you do is put. Let's even check, because with this one, we are going to be updating that one because we know it's there anyway. So then we'll put this one in there. So, and then that will be us for today. So and we put a put, and then of course, because it's a put, you want to update it with what? You need to put the body of that particular put response. So this at the body, we'll copy that, and then we'll put it in our raw, right? So we send it, right? So what this one should do is it should go into that product one and change their details to this, right? So let's say the title of that particular product is no longer iPhone Galaxy. We now say, oh, it should be Galaxy 10. So it will just kind of do that. So you don't need to this one anyway. So we just change everything, change the description, change, yeah. So because it's a put is for updates actually. So that is that. So as you can see, it's not even changing anything because it's still bringing what was there before for us actually. So, but it's not changing it. Let's change, let's say 2. Okay, that's fine, 12. So we want to change it to this, but it's not changing it anyway because it's not, yeah, it's just bringing the same thing for us anyway. But that's how the application is designed. But if it's a real environment, it will change your application from, yeah. So normally, I think you shouldn't even have this as well because your ID is one that you are sending across anyway. So yeah, so, okay. All right, so the same way with delete, you just put the ID. Yeah, so if you go to delete, you can see, so it's the same thing. You just put the endpoint and you change the method to delete. With that, you don't need, it's going to be delete. You don't need a body because you just want to delete, right? So, and it would kind of give you what you are about to delete, to be honest, and that's it anyway. Yeah. Okay, any question? Okay, let me even just use this one, only this one for updates, and just change only the title and see if it's going to work. So for this, only leave the title and change that to yeah, they don't even allow that. So, but normally if it works, the title should just change anyway. So like that, yeah. So any question before we wrap it up today? I think that's it. So the next time we'll meet, we would kind of convert that into automation. So any question? So this is basically how you do manual testing using the API. It's fairly straightforward. Your endpoint is given to you by the developer. Well, if the developer is not given to you, you have to be smart. So get it in the DOM of the URL, right? Like the one I've done with BBC. So, but in most cases, just ask the developer to what's the endpoint, basically. So they're also going to be what is called Swagger documentation, right? That most developer will give to you, right? Swagger API documentation, right? So which allows developers to document their APIs, right? So let's see how it looks like. So in the Swagger documentation, you will see the endpoint, you will see the field that you need to enter actually. So all those information will be there for you. So let me go and let's do an image of what it looks like so that you guys can see. Yeah. So this is a good example. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, yeah, so this is a good example. Yeah, I think I kind of used this pet before. Maybe next time we'll use it as well. It's quite good as well. So this one, you can see it's got the post like that. So when you click on that, it expands the post for you, right? Let's see even if it can actually open it. Like demo. Okay, yeah. I think this pesto is really, really good one as well. So yeah. So yeah, you can see when you open that, it will give you what you're looking for, in terms of the post, and you want to post the pet ID and you want to put additional information, the file that you want to upload. But let's choose a simple one. Yeah, just to add a new pet. Okay. When you want to add a new pet, these are the body that you want to put in there, actually. So then you click on that. So with Swagger, you can click on try it. So let's say this is Swagger document I give to you. You just click on try it here. So when you click on try it, you open this like it becomes like, what's it called? Postman. It becomes like a postman for you. And you can change whatever you want to change there. And then you kind of send your request. Yeah. So, and you click on execute. For instance, let's say I want my ID to be 100, category 100, string, my pet, then photo URL. Basically, let's even leave it the rest like that and see what we're going to get. So this is the response. Is actually gave us 200, which yeah, and then it gives this my pet. And so now based on that, so you can see this is what it actually brought. So oh no, the response is even 400 invalid input actually. So which shows that our input is basically invalid, maybe because I did not put the remaining one in there anyway. So I just want a simple one that I can use for a good exercise actually. So let's say pause this one. So this is only looking for ID, name, and status. Okay, let's try that one. So ID, name, my pet, status, great. Execute. Oh, but another thing, this ID, because you are updating, right? So let's see, because there it still brings 404, because that particular ID is not found actually. So that is the response that it brought to Ross anyway. So I think we try this when we come next time. I think this one should work, to be honest. I don't know why it's not. So 100, that's name, doggy, URL, string, blah, blah. Execute. Server response. I think that makes sense. So then if you go to the ID 100 and see what it actually brought, okay? ID 100, let's say we go to ID 100 on the get now. We want to get this one, right? So we just want to get that particular pet with their ID 100 that we just created and see if it's going to return something that makes brilliant. Yeah, it actually returns what we want. So I think we are in a good business. So we try this next week that we come. We use this particular endpoint and we use that for our code as well. So let me send this out to everyone so that you can give that a try before we come back anyway. So any question? Any question? So that is how Swagger doc. Swagger document is very good too, actually. So, and yeah, most developer will give that to you, right? So you can also use it for your own as well. Okay. All right. I think that is all for today. Okay. Any question? Hear me? I can't hear you. Hello. Okay. All right. Okay. I will see you guys next week possibly anyway. So thank you everyone. Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, sir.